this no-bake lemon pantry cake is based on the recipe for an Argentine no-bake lemon dessert. This pantry dessert recipe takes just a few ingredients, and considering the current circumstances of the world, I think it's what people need. Basically, it's an Argentine-American fusion recipe. A lot of no-bake dessert recipes in Argentina are trifles, so they're cookies that are soaked in some liquid with some sort of cream in the middle. And like I said, it doesn't require a lot of ingredients. Almost all are shelf stable, and I think you'll really enjoy it. The recipe starts off with some lemon cream cookies. Honestly, I think you could use vanilla cream cookies, such as golden Oreos or lemon Oreos if you have them. But this is what I picked up at the store. They're absolutely delicious, so they are what I will be using. I am going to be dunking those in some whole milk. This is similar to my choco torta recipe with Oreos and dulce de leche. So instead of coffee, I'm using milk. If you don't have milk, which I know some people might not have access to now, you could use maybe rice milk, almond milk, that seems to be in stock. Maybe evaporated milk, you could follow the directions and reconstitute it. But honestly, I think not even putting them in a liquid, not even dunking them, I think it would be okay, because this filling is very moist. It is a type of lemon mousse, and it's half sweet condensed milk and usually half whipping cream, but this time I'm going to use table cream. This is Nestle Media Crema table cream. It's not quite as thick as whipping cream. It's shelf stable. I have seen it in all the stores that I've been in recently. And honestly, I've seen whipping cream in all of them as well. But let's say you can't get to the store, or you don't want to go to the store. You want to minimize your time outside of the house. I think having some canned goods is a good idea. And that is, like I said, is shelf stable. It's something that you can have on hand, and that I think almost everyone will be able to find, especially if you live in a neighborhood with a lot of Latino people. So for this cream, actually I'm going to do the cookies first. I have an 8x8 casserole dish, and I'm simply going to dunk the cookies into this milk. I'm starting off with half of a cup, but I'm probably going to need more. I want the cookies to be moistened, but not too much. So a total of 3 seconds in the milk. You just keep going until you do the first layer. If you don't have the big package like this, I would get, I think usually Oreos and things like that are sold in 14.3 ounce packages. So for this 8x8 dish, you will need one of those packages, assuming that you don't lose any of the cookies to quality control. I just finished my first layer of my lemon pantry cake. Now on to the lemon mousse filling. Like I said, it's part sweetened condensed milk, part cream. If you have heavy whipping cream, you can definitely use that. But like I said, we're in a crazy time in the world, so you might not have access to that, or you might not want to go out very often. And if you don't know when you're going to want to make this cake, then something that is canned is always an option. So this is 225 milligrams, which is 7.6 ounces of this media crema. So if you buy a 16 ounce container of heavy whipping cream, which I believe they're usually sold in either 8 or 16 ounces. If it's 16 ounces, it would be half. Approximately. I'm just going to scoop that out. And how does it taste? It tastes like cooked cream, I would say. It's kind of like comparing milk and evaporated milk to whipping cream and this. It has a slightly cooked taste, which isn't necessarily bad, it's just different. Now, I want to add equal amounts of the cream, heavy cream or media crema, and sweet condensed milk. Honestly, I think if you have a food scale, that's the best option. But if you don't, and you don't want to go through the mess, or as the Argentines say, the quilombo of sweet condensed milk, what you could do is you could just pour it into this jar. And that should be enough. So I'm going to pour it into this jar. It's a little bit off, that's okay. So that's about what we want. And honestly, I don't think this is one of those recipes that has to be exactly spot on. I think it could go a little bit one way and it'll be okay. So even if you're new to the kitchen, let's say your favorite restaurant is closed, you can't get to it, I think this is a good option. Now, I should have used a bigger bowl, but I think it'll be okay. Actually, no, I'm gonna get a bigger bowl, and now I have a bigger bowl just in case I need it. This is not dirty. I melted chocolate in it one time and it stained it. So yes, this is a real kitchen. So to make this lemon mousse filling, I'm going to add half of a cup of lemon juice. I always have lemons on hand. I've been to a lot of grocery stores since the craziness started, and I've seen lemons in most of them. So I think you'll be able to find that. If not, bottled lemon juice. What I'll do is I'll put it in this bowl, and then I will add this mixture to that bowl. And that might not even be big enough. We'll see. No, I think it'll be big enough. When I'm off camera, I will scrape that bowl a little bit more. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to mix this together. And now my lemon mousse is completely mixed. I know when I first started mixing, you were probably thinking, that doesn't look like it's gonna work. It looked like it's gonna be a disaster. Even though it looked like it was gonna be a disaster in the beginning, look, it worked out. It came together, and it's been maybe 3 minutes. I took a few cookies and I broke them into fourths, and I put them in the milk, and I inserted them in the base of the dish just so that it had a more uniform bottom. And as you can see, I stopped stirring for not even a minute to show you the cookies, and it's already thicker. See? It's not quite as thick as if you use heavy whipping cream, but because of the lemon juice, it helps to thicken it. If you use fresh lemons, you can also zest the lemon and add that. I honestly don't think I'm going to add the lemon zest. I'm going to save that for something else. But if you want to, you could definitely do that, and it's going to add a ton of flavor. No, actually, no. I'm going to add it. I've decided to add it. I think it'll be very nice. Is this a requirement? No, but I think it's going to add a lot of flavor. So if you have access to fresh lemons, I highly suggest that you add some lemon zest to this, because I think it's going to make it very, very nice. Let's taste it. Very, very nice. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to pour half of my lemon mousse Give it another stir over these cookies. And I know, like I said, the world situation is crazy now. Most of my audience is in the United States. And I feel like what happened this past week, I went to the grocery store last Wednesday and then last Friday. And it was a very I don't even know what word to use, incredible experience, because we live in a first world country, and I think a lot of us, we've never had the experience of going into a grocery store and seeing half of everything gone and seeing people lined up to the back of the building or outside of the building, and we just never thought that it could happen here. It's just been a very difficult time for a lot of people. I think something good, something delicious that you can make without any eggs, because eggs seem to be kind of hard to come by, without any fancy ingredients, is what we need right now. And especially if you feel compelled or the authorities ask you to just stay where you are, I think this is something that you can make where you go to the store, you get what you need, and you can make it at home, not have to worry about a ton of ingredients. And I was watching, here, I will continue making this as I talk. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do the second layer. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the first layer. Dunk the cookies and place them on top. There's this Argentine YouTuber, Nacho Zeta. I'll be sure to include a link to his channel below. He does speak English because now he lives in the United Kingdom, but I'm pretty sure that all of his videos are in English, or excuse me, in Spanish. And he has this video from the end of January about his impression or his opinion of Argentina now that he's been abroad for a long time. And he said that one of the things he really likes about his country is how, in spite of all the economic turbulence and uncertainty, Argentine people, and I agree with his evaluation of his culture, is that people can find a way to enjoy life and smile and just make the most of the situation and try to have fun. And I think nowadays, that's exactly the kind of attitude that we need. Whenever you go through hard times, whether it be for personal reasons or a crisis that's out of your hands, I think it's important to try to find joy in the small things, whether it be a delicious recipe or a close friend or beauty in a flower, the blueness of the sky. I think that finding beauty and joy in the little things is really important. Now that I've added the second layer of cookies, I'm going to finish the cake by adding the rest of the mousse. And look, it is a lot thicker than it was. So even though it looks runny now, I think that even though it will be runnier than using regular whipping cream, I think that once it's cold, it's going to be a lot better. And I think I added too much to the first layer. That is okay. This recipe, just like Choco Torta de Oreo, is a lot more forgiving than you would think. Once the final layer of mousse is in this lemon pantry cake, cover and chill in the refrigerator for at least 3 hours, if not overnight. This no-bake lemon pantry cake has been in the refrigerator for a little over 3 hours, so it's time to serve. What do I want? I will take this. And as you can see, I can touch it and it's firmed up a lot, even though I did not use heavy cream. Now let me get this one. piece is always the hardest to get out nicely. And here it is, the first piece of my lemon pantry cake. And for not using heavy cream, I think it holds its shape fairly well. I'm going to take some more photos, then I'll try it. And now it's time to try this no-bake pantry cake, lemon pantry cake. Like I said earlier, I think it's held together pretty well, considering that there's no heavy cream, no cream cheese, anything like that. It's good. Definitely lemony. Definitely good. The cookies still have some firmness like with the choco torta. Which is important because soggy cookies are never good. Honestly, I felt that these lemon sandwich cookies were a little bit softer than the Oreos are in the Oreo choco torta. So if you don't have milk on hand and you just want to layer these cookies between the layers of the mousse without dunking the cookies in any liquid, I think you'll probably be okay. I think the fact that the media crema is a little more liquidy than cream cheese allows you to get away without dunking the cookies first. I haven't tried that, but that's my hunch. In fact, this was the first time that I ever made this recipe because, like I said, I had been thinking about this not only after having made an Argentine cake that's very similar, but also considering the current circumstances of the world, and I thought that I would give it a try. I had actually never used media crema before. I seen it in the store and I tried to research it on YouTube, both in English and in Spanish, and honestly, there aren't a lot of videos about media crema. In all honesty, I was really surprised by how well this lemon pantry cake turned out, especially by how well it held its shape considering that I used a lower fat cream. Even though I was thinking that this pantry cake recipe would be good in a time like this, once everything gets back to normal, I think you could definitely make this because it is legitimately easy and good. If you're looking for a new dessert that you can make with what you have in your pantry, give this one a try. I know you won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.